Hidden Gems, Part 2. I've posted a video before where I introduced you to hidden gems, aka shows and manga and other stuff that I just enjoy a lot, but that seems to be very unpopular. Like, some of the stuff out there is so good, but so underrated, you just don't find out about it until there's a random TikTok that tells you, hey, there is an anime you haven't seen and it's pretty good. So, if you want to, you can check out my first video in this series, but the audio quality is pretty bad, so I wouldn't judge you for skipping that one. It has some good stuff though. Anyway, part 2. How I attended an all-guys mixer. So, these 3 guys here are going on a mixer, expecting to find 3 beautiful women waiting for them. But instead, they end up facing these 3 overly handsome men. They're stunning, like, oh my god, look. Not to be gay or anything, but whoa. There's plenty of moments where they're just shining, roses in the back, women in the background screaming. They're stunning. Turns out, they're cross-dressers, working at a cross-dressing bar. Why is it that whenever a woman cross-dresses in anime, she ends up being an absolutely stunning guy? I wanna be like that. Anyway, this show is basically a slice of life, with a lot of comedy and occasional romance mixed in. They get along really well with the other guys, and there's romance. Kinda gay. Next one. If you know me personally, you might remember the phase I had with this. My god. First time I realized I had a hyperfixation, like, this one was bad. I was in my exam season, and this just took up all the space in my head. Right, so, Vampire Dormitory. I watched the anime, I also read the manga, but it's... I don't know what to say. If you watch the anime and then move on to the manga, you might be a bit disappointed with how the manga continues. Like, the anime only covered one plot of it, and I expected this plot to be like the whole main story of this. But for the manga, it's just one plot line, and then there's more coming on with completely different characters. I still continued to read it, and I will finish it, but I prefer the plot line from this season and don't really want a second season. Anyway, so this guy right here, I forgot all of the names, but pink hair guy, is homeless, and he desperately needs a new job to cover for food in the first place. This vampire, the one with the gray hair, discovers his situation, finds him, and saves him. As you can see from this picture, something happened. He offers to take him in. They do a kind of contract like, I can drink your blood, and for that, in exchange, you can live with me, but he lives in a school, so you will live in my dormitory room with me and go to my school. And since our main character is homeless, he just accepts immediately, like, hell yeah, you want my blood? Go ahead, just give me a roof. And the gray-haired guy mentions that he was searching for someone like him for eternity because, well, it's not like he's gay, but he has childhood trauma, and due to that trauma, he doesn't do well with girls. So he really needed a guy to drink blood from to survive. And he found him. Only one little problem. At the end of the first episode, we find out that our main character is actually a girl. Let's not have the vampire find out, right? So the whole conflict of this one is the romance between these two, but the vampire not knowing that he's actually a girl. There's also this black-haired guy, like, it is kinda giving Twilight, and he finds out pretty early about the boy-girl situation, but he keeps it a secret. And as you can tell, it ends up as a love triangle. He loves him, they love each other, there's tension between these two, you know the drill. Like, that's the triangle. You can kinda see he's more on the confident side, knowing that he has the better chance, while he is more on the defensive side and is like, I just wanna protect main character from you and protect her secret and stuff like that. Like, if this was Twilight, gray hair would be Edward and black hair would be Jacob. There's supportive characters like friends and the butler of our main vampire guy. If I had to choose a character, it would be the butler. You will get it soon enough. Like, if you watch it, you will get it. There's some moments with him. It's not like I would never ship the butler with our main character. But, whoa. Moving on. Demon Prince of the Momochi household. Again, very unpopular. I don't think I've ever seen any fan art, fan edits, or any of it. I started with the manga, but there's also an anime that came out last year, just one season. But I finished the manga already and it moves on well. The manga obviously has a lot more plot than the anime. Like, the anime only covers the first few volumes, as anime does. Anyway, our main character, this girl at the side here, moves into a little town after inheriting the house, the Momochi house, from her parents who are dead. She arrives at the house but finds out that there are people in there, specifically this guy and his friends. They live in that house and they've lived there for a long time. But she officially owns the house, so they kinda have to get along from now on. She allows them to live in there, since she basically can't throw them out, they're too powerful. Because they are Yakushi. Ayakashi? They're Japanese demon ghost creatures. You know, you can see. That's the same guy. This one, I think his name was Aoi, and in this form it's Nue. Anyway, so Nue guards the gate between the human realm and the ghost realm. Yokai realm? And he's like really powerful. He's like the main guy for demons and ghosts. I would say it's a slice of life, kind of, a little bit. More on the adventure and supernatural side. They have a lot of adventures going on, I would say. A lot of demon and ghost interactions and a villain who I am mildly obsessed with. A powerful demon guy who is the antagonist and wants to capture Nue for reasons. And she kinda has to keep it a secret from her school friends that these ghost people even exist at all. So yeah, basically schoolgirl, ghosts and demons, keep it a secret, but they live together. That's the basic gist. I don't know what to tell you. I enjoyed it a lot. This one behind me is my favorite character. He was so nice. Oh, and there's a romance between the schoolgirl and the main guy, the main Nue. But you can imagine it's a bit difficult to have a schoolgirl fall in love with the demon prince. So there's a love conflict going on. Next one. My new boss is Goofy. This one was so cute. So wholesome. Honestly kinda healing. I've never had a job, but if I had job trauma, this would help me out, I think. So our main guy, right here, had a horrible boss in the past and is deeply traumatized from him. Like, he had physical trauma. He was sick because of how much his older boss bullied him. So he changed jobs. And this is his new boss, who is amazing, who is really nice, who is really supportive. He's just great. And the whole anime is basically just about him recovering from his past trauma and his new boss kinda helping out with that. He's really silly, really clumsy. A lot of stupid little mistakes happen to him, which helps him kinda loosen up. It helps him see the whole situation between them a lot more chill. It's not a BL, but it looks a lot like it. And in the end, I was also rooting for them. Not romantically, but like friendship. I friendship them, if that makes sense. They end up moving together due to circumstances, which just makes the whole situation even more silly. And like, it's filled with silly, goofy moments and wholesomeness, so you can really just watch this whenever you need something to cheer you up. They also end up adopting a little cat, which is cute. Yakuza Fiancé. This one caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to be good. Like, I started the anime fully expecting trash, but then it ended up being really good. Like, I'm impressed. I didn't even like the art style, but it grew on me. Our main girl is from Osaka, and she moves to Tokyo because she's arranged into a relationship with him, and they're Yakuza, if the title didn't give that away. So They're from different Yakuza tribes, and in order to bring peace between the tribes, these two are put into a forced relationship. He was looking forward to it. She just goes into it with the expectation to just pretend. Like, she's really just trying to pretend she's not interested in him. And soon enough, he starts to freak her out. He's a freak. Genuinely. Confirmed. Jack confirmed he's a freak. Which is kinda interesting, but we'll get to that later. So at first he was interested, but then I don't know if it was the first episode, but soon enough he says something like, "You're not what I expected you to be. You're like really disappointing, so if you wanna stay along, you should get me some money. Like, go sell your body or something, I need money, and I don't care about you." Something like that. But outside of his expectation, she's actually pretty badass. So when he said, "Go sell your body to get me some money," she goes and sells one of her organs. She brings him 4 billion yen in a bag, saying, "I sold my kidney for this. Now leave me alone." And so they live together. And I would say they kind of warm up on each other. Like, as soon as she does that badass move, he's obsessed. Full on yandere obsessed with her, which she just uses to her advantage. She needs a place to stay, since she's moved all the way to Tokyo for this, and she's supposed to stay there for a year, so she really just baits him in to be obsessed with her and keeps the momentum up. There's a love triangle, like there's this character from her childhood, I think they were childhood friends, and there's like strong tension between those two, like they would end each other for her. He's my favorite character. Like, as soon as I met him, I was like, that's it, I'm watching it for him now. He's bad influence on me. But soon enough, the relationship between those two starts to work out. I know it sounds kinda toxic, but honestly, it adds to it. Like, the toxic tension between these two was what made the whole thing so interesting. Like, I would never support a toxic relationship in real life, but this was fun. This was really entertaining. Thanks. I was obsessed with this at the time of reading. I'm still waiting for the next volume to come out. Before we get into this, it's plus 18, so maybe skip to the next one. I will put up a text right here that shows when I'm done talking about this one. So if you're under 18, just skip to this timestamp, alright? Quick edit. I mentioned that I would give you a timestamp where the 18 plus stuff ends, but I forgot that I sectioned all the 18 plus stuff to the end of the video, which means if you are a minor, the video is basically over for you now. Leave. I'm not trying to be mean to minors or anything, but I don't want children to start into the things I recommend. Like, I know I myself didn't pay attention to 18 plus restrictions when I was a kid either, but you can do what you want, you can watch and read what you want, but you cannot say that I got you into this. Like, if you are too young to play the games I mentioned or to read the manga I mentioned, then just don't mention me. Moving on. So, fangs. If you can't tell, these are vampires, which is why I've read it. To put it short, Vampire BL. And within the very first chapter there's already smut, so I really hope the minors are not watching right now. Can I even post this on YouTube? Anyway, so, white-haired guy, I think his name was N, I don't know. White-haired guy was just recently turned into a vampire, and he, black-haired guy, finds him in that state. Like, the moment he wakes up from being turned, he finds him. And he takes him in, because it's really dangerous to be a newborn vampire on your own if you don't know the whole rules, the whole everything. So he takes him in, takes care of him, kinda teaches him the ways of the vampires, like, don't go out in the sun, don't drink blood if the person already died, and the whole stick, you know, all of the things he couldn't know on his own. And, yeah, BL, as I said, first chapter, yeah, things pop up between them. It's kinda unhealthy, but in a good way, like they're trying their best. He is just scarred from a past relationship, so he brings in unhealthy ties into this relationship, and he's just, I would say he's fine. The way he reacts is the same way I would react, which is also not exactly healthy, but he's doing a lot better than he is. Like, he's a bit avoidant whenever stuff comes up, whenever his past comes up or anything. He just tries to avoid uncomfortable topics, and he obviously can't know. He doesn't know what happened to him in the past, and he doesn't want to trigger him, but he also doesn't want to let go of him, so it's a whole stick of, come on, tell me what's going on, and overthinking. The supportive characters are really crucial in this aspect, because they help white-haired guy in this relationship. Like, there's often moments where black hair just avoids him, or ghosts him, or just disappears for a few days, and then he's like, well, what's going on? I'm worried. I don't know what to do. And they're like, yeah, so like this is normal for him. Things happened in the past, and they just keep him company until he comes back. I know this sounds unhealthy again, but they're working on it. It's on a positive upward shift, and he's got support. I remember at the beginning of the volumes, every single chapter ended in angst, which kind of forced you to continue to read, because everything's going good, and then some minor little situation happens, and suddenly he starts ghosting, and then you're like, whoa, what's happening? I need to see how this continues. But I think they did really well. Like, there's angst, but I'm really comfortable with this situation. They did really well. There's a lot of drama going on, and like major big situations, but they survive. Romance, drama, and supportive friends. What can I say? Moving on to games. Love Unholic. We will get to another game later, and the other game is the reason I know about this one at all. But anyway, do you know Mystic Messenger? Because if you do, Love Unholic kind of works the same way. You have calls, you have chat rooms, you have ultimate game characters to choose from, and depending on what you choose in the chat options, there's different characters you could end up with. These are the three main guys. Like, with the first week, it's just prologue. The first week, you don't choose any character, you just meet all of them, kind of get to know them, get to know your situation, and it's the second week where the game then chooses, okay, you had the most interactions with him, or the most options you chose would suit him, so now you're going onto his route. And then all of the characters have their individual routes, which you can play separately from each other. And there's also these secondary characters. For the third week, you don't have to complete these characters in order to get to them. You have to buy these separately. Not with money, with in-game currency, but you have to save up a lot. I played all of their routes, and I'm currently on to his. He's your butler. We will get to that later. But honestly, after getting to know him, he's my favorite. Anyway, so we have popular famous guy, serious businessman, and model. So basically Zen, but he's more of a Yusang from the appearance, but more of a Zen from the personality. And then Jumin and Zen again, because he is a model. We don't really have a Yusang in this. That's obviously not their real names, that's the names from Mystic Messenger, but just so you know. And then here, he's your butler. From the beginning of the game, he's by your side, he takes care of you, he's just the best. And he's your kidnapper. He's the main antagonist, the villain, the evil guy. He shows up at the end of the first week to kidnap you. And honestly, from this game, you can't really figure out his character unless you play his route, but we'll get to that later. Right, so about your butler. When I started the game, and he introduced himself as, I'm your butler, I will take care of you, I was like, okay, I know what I like, but just because you're a butler doesn't mean I approve just yet. Not yet, no. Not yet. But then we had this moment. He's actually like more than 100 years old and half a demon, so that's where I caved in. Right, so the kidnapper guy. That's him. He shows up at the end of the first week because you have a kind of ceremony going on at the end of the week. And he shows up at your ceremony. He even dresses up for you. Look, he's such a gentleman, but a crazy one. He's straight up crazy. So, based from what you see in the first few weeks, he's just the crazy evil guy trying to capture you. Everyone else is trying to protect you from him because they think he's going to eat you. That's what he's known for. He is a devourer. His name is Eater, literally. So they're trying to protect you. but you don't really know what his real motive is. You yourself, as main character, also assume that he just wants to eat you. But in reality, you guys share a certain past. Can you guess it? Because you, along with your butler and him, are also more than 100 years old. And he has known you in your past. You guys had something going on. I started to pay attention to him based on this game, which is like a knockoff of Love on Holic. It's Doki Doki Love on Holic Class. It's like a casual alternate universe version. All of these are in a class together in a school. It's a very casual, chill game, not related to the plot of the main game, but with the same characters. And in this game we have some really cute interactions with Eater, so that's where I started to pay attention to him at all. And Eater, as I said, knew you in the past, and bro has waited 700 years to meet you again. Like, he really is the kinda immortal demon who waits 700 years just for you. He has a room in his castle dedicated to you. Like, it's not like you're in there, but he calls it your bedroom, and it's a massive royal bedroom with a massive bed, and he has just gifts piled up in the entire room. He goes into that room that is dedicated to you every night, every evening, to say goodnight to you, but you're not there. He brings gifts all the time. Like, he is rich, he is royal. He has servants, and his servants think that his sick wife is in here because they're not allowed to go into the room, but they hear him coming in every night. They don't know that the room is empty. And he comes in every evening and brings gifts. He comes in like, here's a dress, I saw it in the window today and thought it would look cute on you. Obviously everything would look cute on you, but I just bought it for you anyway. Then he puts it on the pile of gifts you have. Like, the room is stuck full of gifts. The next day he brings in a game and is like, here, there's this game and I know you want to play it, so I bought it for you. And he puts it into the room, says goodnight again, pretends like that you're there. He's adorable. This whole thing is what got me into him. I'm obsessed. He's my favorite. Even the game. I know that he's the villain, so the game has to put him into a different category, but look at this. Like, if you just have a quick look at the theme, music they gave the characters. This is in-game music. This is Leo, like the one, the model. Then we have Soul, the businessman. That's William, the butler, and his song is really just the game's default song. But Eater hits us with this. Do I have to say more? The music is almost enough to get me into him. They know what they're doing. If you decide to play the game, let me warn you, it's even more dedication and time than Mystic Messenger. Like, in Mystic Messenger, you had hourglasses every now and then. The game would just give you hourglasses sometimes, and you could use those to play the chats you missed. But this game doesn't give you those hourglasses for free. You can watch ads to get tickets. In this game they're tickets, but it takes very long to collect the amount you need to get a chat. So for them I was fine, I managed alright, but for him, I saved up a month and I logged in every half an hour into the game just to watch that ad so I could save up tickets for him, because I calculated in advance, and if I don't want to sacrifice all of my sleep, I would need 340 tickets to play through his route without hitting a bad ending. So be prepared. You can also throw your money into this game, but I'm free to play. Next up, again, 18+, very strongly 18+, just, you can see it already, like, do I even need to explain? Strong warning about this game. Please be an adult. Yeah, what in hell is bad? is the name of the game, and it's an Otome game again. This game is the reason I know about Love and Holic, because it's from the same developers. Right, so this game, I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. I love so many of these characters. There's such potential. It's kind of an isekai, I would say. Like, you start off as a normal human being, doing your usual daily stuff, and then this angel at the side, him, Gabriel, comes in to end you, because apparently you are the descendant of Solomon, who is dangerous for the angels because he gives great powers to the demons. And so he comes to end you. But Satan, this guy, shows up very conveniently and saves you from Gabriel. And in exchange for saving you, he makes a contract and is like, here, I saved you, so now you have to come down to hell with me. And at first you would think, yeah, hell, that sounds horrible, why do I have to go down hell? But you saved me, so okay, there's nothing you can do against it. But hell isn't that bad, as you can see. So you do the contract, you go down hell with them, and you end up meeting a lot of devils. There's a lot. There's 7 kings, and all of the kings have their subordinates, and a lot of very lovable characters. Like, there's something for everyone. There's 39 characters at the moment, and based on the Megaton demonology lore, based on that, there's 75 demons in total. And as far as I know, they're going to add all of the 75 demons into the game. So, there's something for everyone. As you can see, I have already picked a few favorites. Yeah, this is my favorite game. For reasons. Not necessarily for these reasons, but just because I like the characters a lot and the story. I play it for the story, guys, trust. For the story. Yeah, they did recently bring out a teen version of the game. I don't know how that's going to work because the 18+ content of this is deeply embedded into the story. So the teen version is a bit censored, but still. I'm just gonna say it straight out. This is lewd. This game is lewd as hell. You kinda do it with all of them. Now that it's out, yeah, I don't know if I should even tell you about the plot. There's adventure going on, there's a lot of fighting. The demons are in a war against the angels. That's why Gabriel was trying to end you, because you can actually empower these demons. You give them extra powers if you do a contract with them, and then they can eventually defeat the angels. Just recently they added Asmodeus into the game, who is one of the kings, obviously, and he actually has ties to Love and Holic. That's how I found out about Love and Holic, because he sends you this picture, and if you take a look at it, do you see it? Like, it's very faint here, but that's the 3 main guys, and then that's your butler, and then that's my favorite kidnapper guy. So Asmodeus is actually the creator of the Unholics. In this game, you and your butler and eater, all the characters who are like more than 100 years old, you guys are Unholics, which is a special race which was created when Asmodeus had a child with a human woman. So these 2 games are tied in the way that Asmodeus is here in hell as a devil king, and the Unholics, your characters here, are his descendants. You don't ever meet him in Unholic, but he's mentioned as basically their god, and then in hell he sometimes mentions his Unholic descendants. Like in this chat where he sends you the picture, he's like, look, that's the child named William on the left. I don't know why he says on the left, he's in the middle. And he looks a lot like me, doesn't he? It's the same William, it's our butler. The main characters in these 2 games are not the same person, but it's still a nice connection. There's also this moment. It doesn't mean that I favor William. I have another child with whom I have a bit of a falling out, and he bothers me in a different way. Can you guess who it is? He was a very nice and pure kid, but he's a little out of it a sort due to some circumstances. But he's very cute and sweet at heart. I agree. You can tell by the way he likes dogs. It's Eater. Asmodeus agrees with me. He's very cute and sweet at heart. So yeah, there's direct connections between these 2 games. I love both, but I'm almost done with Love and Holic, and this game is still going to continue for a while. I don't want it to end, but as far as I know, they already confirmed that there will only be like 20 chapters, and we're currently at chapter 7, so we still have more than half to go, but there's a definite end waiting for us. I don't know if I could call this romance, because you're kinda going along with absolutely everyone. The game doesn't really let you choose one of them, you kinda go with everyone. There is romantic hints, I would say. Like he, right off the bat, just says, I like you, you're mine. But based on the story and circumstances, he allows you to get with the other guys, because it just can't be helped. There are circumstances that literally physically force you to get with the other guys. But as far as possible, he is possessive. And then he's more of a generous guy, is like, yeah, everything belongs to me. He's Mammon, the devil of greed. So like, everything belongs to me, but you are clearly above me, so you are my master now, which means I belong to you, and that equals to everything belonging to you. So do what you want. I know you will choose me in the end. That's his whole stick. And then him, he kinda doesn't care. He's like very open, he doesn't care about loyalty and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, have fun, I'm gonna have fun too. That kind of guy. And he's straight up just a tsundere. Like, we are still conflicted. I have friends who can't like him because of his tsundere trait. Like, he's pretty, he's gorgeous, he's everything, but he is so difficult, my god. He has mood swings. He will never admit that he likes you, but he does. There's subtle, small hints. He likes you, I'm not delusional, but he won't admit it. I would say he's the most violent one towards you out of all of them, because he's not going to admit that he likes you, and he does harm you in a few ways. I don't want to take away too much of the story. You will meet all of the 75 devils sooner or later. I'm interested to see how the future devils are going to look like, but I have my favorite, and I don't think that will change. That's it. I've been ranting on, I've been yapping. I hope you were able to follow my words, like, at all. Hope I was able to put out at least one coherent sentence. Thanks for listening to my yap. I will provide more.